Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk all things photography, and today we're going to talk a little bit about 35mm and how I got along when I shot with the Ektar 100 film. As you may have seen in some of my previous videos, I shoot a lot with the Olympus OM10. It's quite an old, simple 35mm camera which I got off eBay for a tenner, I think. The one addition that I did get to it was this little shutter speed adapter. Sometimes they don't come with it, and otherwise it's auto and you're never quite in control of what you're going to get. So over the last year I really focused on shooting in-studio sport stuff, a lot of lighting, always on the 5D Mark IV, which I'm filming on here. But when you pull one direction, the other gets ignored. So for the next few shoots, I've wanted to focus on outdoor, aspirational lifestyle, sports, fitness based. With this test, I just wanted to shoot with a couple of models, some daylight, my camera, and also some 35mm. So for this one, I shot with two models, Jess and Hannah, both from Fort Model Management, which are primarily a sports modeling agency, always working with people who tend to be athletes first and models second, and personally I love working with athletes. One thing that I'm always trying to get over in my photography is authenticity. As well as shooting on the 5D Mark IV, I fancied mixing it up a little bit and just shooting some, on the Olympus, some 35mm. One day recently when I was around Oxford Circus, I stopped by the photographer's gallery and picked up some Ektar 100. It's not a film that I'd shot with recently, but one that had always piqued my curiosity. Before shooting, as I'd never shot with it before, I did a little bit of research, looked up on YouTube, saw how other people were getting on with it. Does it react better when it's underexposed or overexposed? What happens to the film in different conditions, and what colours does it like and not like? The film itself, I think, ranges from about £6 to £7. I think I paid about £7 in the photographer's gallery, which isn't the cheapest 35mm around, but I'm sure it's not the most expensive. After buying a couple of rolls, I did have a look on eBay to see if I could pick up any cheaper. Even in multi-packs of 5 and 10, you're still looking at around £5. Whilst doing a bit of research on the film, one thing that I found kept coming up again is how nicely it reacted to pastel colours and clear blue skies. And with the models wearing pastels, pinks and blues, I wanted to get some stuff where I was slightly looking up to them, using that plain blue backdrop of the sky, and I knew if I got the exposure just slightly over, it would get the kind of effect that I was looking for. I think some of the inspiration for this shoot and using Ektar 100 and playing on the way that it reacted with pastels and clear blues come from a lot of things that I've been following on Instagram recently. One of my favourite collections that I have at the moment is what I've called a plants and textures collection. One of the reoccurring themes of it was the colours. I feel like usually I'm drawn to earthy tones, but one of the reasons I started this collection was to just give me a visual record of what I was actually drawn to. So more recently it was pinks, blues, light blues, and I just wanted to play off that really and see if I could incorporate that into my own stuff. Because the Olympus doesn't have its own light meter in it, sometimes I'll use a light metering app, but on this particular occasion I just used the 5D Mark IV, set the ISO to the same as the film, which was 100. Because it was so bright, it was usually 500th of a second. Yeah, and then just adjusted the f-stop, took 1 or 2 frames to check the exposure on the 5D Mark IV. I didn't have a light meter with me, so I think this proved to be the fail-safe. And because of the research I'd done and I'd seen how quickly the film falls apart when it's underexposed, I always made sure I was either exposed correctly or just slightly over. I quite like how Ektar 100 reacts when it's just slightly overexposed, and it will hold together for a couple of stops at least. Ektar 100 was an absolute pleasure to shoot with. I love how it turned out, and I think we got some great shots there. I hope this video has helped you guys, or just piqued your interest in shooting either 35mm or whatever type of film. If you've got any further questions on Ektar 100, please hit me up in the comments, via email or on Instagram. I hope to speak with you soon, guys. Thanks for watching.